Back in 1885, the Georgia legislature passed a bill appropriating $65,000 to fund a technical school. Atlanta was chosen, land was donated, the first academic building was erected, and in 1888, 129 students were enrolled. Thus, the Georgia Institute of Technology was born. Since then, our school has grown to enroll 10,462 undergraduate students in 2015, and it continues to grow. Now, these are all great facts about our beloved school, but how does this relate to the biological world? Well, it takes a specific type of person to get through Georgia Tech. So we like to consider the Institute and its students, like you and me, as our own species who collectively make up a population. In biological terms, a population is defined as a group of organisms of the same species living in a defined region, while population size is simply the number of individuals within a population. In the beginning, our population size would have been considered to be 129 students. After the success of the initial Georgia Tech students, more and more people wanted to come to this great school. Georgia Tech grew at a rapid rate, so now in 2015, it has 10,462 students. Why could it grow at such an exponential rate? Because the carrying capacity kept increasing from revenue. Let's bring it back to biology. Exponential growth is an increase in the size of population at a growth rate that increases with time in the presence of unlimited resources. The graph can be modeled by the equation dn over dt equals rn, where dn is the change in population, dt is the change in time, r is the rate of growth, and n is the original number of individuals in the population. This graph looks like a J. Carrying capacity is the maximum number of individuals of a species that an area can sustain with limited resources. This value is not static. Natural disasters can destroy resources, lowering carrying capacity, or technology could increase it. In Georgia Tech's case, the addition of money and technology allowed Tech to continue to grow exponentially. If Tech stopped earning a profit, it wouldn't be able to expand, so fewer students could be accepted because Tech would not be able to afford to educate a larger amount. In this case, Tech would be experiencing logistic growth because they would now be approaching a carrying capacity. Logistic growth is growth that occurs within limitations, such as carrying capacity. Resource availability affects carrying capacity. If fewer resources are available, the area can only support as large a population as the available resources allow. An increase in resources can raise the carrying capacity and allow the population to keep growing. In this case, the carrying capacity is dictated by resources such as campus size and funding. By raising tuition rates and expanding campus by buying adjacent land, Georgia Tech was able to grow from its first initial building, 129 students, to what it is now. Still don't understand? Let's take a look at the findings of renowned biologist Joel E. Cohen. He states that the growth of the population is determined by the amount of resources available, and as more resources such as land and water are being used, the slower the growth rate, because the Earth cannot support rapid growth with depleting resources. With 10,462 people enrolled and only a campus with the size a bit over a square mile, Georgia Tech has a high concentration of students per area. This is referred to as Tech's population density, which is 7,894 people per square mile. This represents the number of a species living within a certain defined area, in this case, students living on campus. Students at Tech have the opportunity to go study abroad. This creates metapopulations, or spatially separated populations of the same species which interact at some level. Georgia Tech's main campus is in Atlanta, but Tech has students in different programs in Lorraine, Barcelona, Oxford, and other areas around the globe. They're all Tech students, but they study in different locations. After graduating, students go all across the globe to increase the geographic range of Tech. This shows the whole world that Tech students are superior, especially when compared to UGA grads. Geographic range is the boundary within which a species lives, beyond which the species does not occur. Georgia Tech is currently one of the greatest engineering schools in the nation and arguably the world. With a vibrant student population and a growing study abroad initiative, it is no wonder that Georgia Tech continues to expand and challenge its projected carrying capacity. Biology is often thought of by students as a foreign concept that is hard to understand. But everything gets a little bit easier when you put yourself into this situation.